Anil, Mike and Vicky are three 20-somethings sharing a flat. It's in a 1970s block in the city centre, and it has a certain charm, but it's very drafty and cold. The landlord has upgraded parts of the block, like the new storage heaters, but only really what's been incentivised by government. The latest feature the landlord has installed in all his flats is sensor-controlled lighting. Mike likes the idea. He's always frustrated when he sees the others leave the lights on. Both he and Anil quickly get annoyed with the system, however. The new sensor in the hallway seems to have a pretty relaxed attitude to its job. It doesn't work half the time. Even worse, most of the time when it does work, it's when Vicky gets back from her shift at work in the middle of the night. She's a medical student and she often works odd shift patterns. She has previously always been very considerate of her flatmates, keeping quiet when she comes home late at night and only using lights when necessary. With the new lighting system, however, the lights come on and stay on for a length of time, shining into the others' bedrooms and keeping them awake. After a short period of time, Mike unscrews the light bulbs in the hallway, and now they make do with fumbling around in the dark and only using the lights in their rooms. Given the potential savings of the new system, Mike is hopeful that they will stay within the new electricity tariff that they've agreed with their supplier. After a stream of expensive bills none of them could afford, they switched tariff to the Saver plan. This plan means that their electricity usage is banded, so that at certain levels the cost per unit increases. As long as their usage remains at its current level, they will save money. Mike also starts to pay more attention to the energy monitoring display that the landlord had installed in the flat, and moves it from behind the kettle to the kitchen table where it's more visible. This shows how much electricity they are consuming on a room-by-room basis. Given that he'd been checking their electricity use, Mike is surprised to come home one rainy Thursday afternoon to find the display glowing red, indicating that they are nearing the end of their monthly limit, and still with 4 days to go. He immediately gets angry. And yes, if you're wondering, this is what Mike looks like angry. And he checks the display history to find out who's responsible. It's fairly easy to spot that Vicky is the culprit. Her bedroom used almost twice the amount that either Mike or Anil used in theirs. He confronts her, pointing out that they are all now going to have to conserve electricity for the rest of the month to avoid a hugely expensive bill. Vicky is apologetic and buys everyone a takeaway to make up for it, and to avoid using electricity in cooking. She's extremely careful over the next 4 days, but even with the heating turned down, they still go over budget and get a massive bill that Anil and Mike are stroppy about for days. Deciding to investigate the cause of the high bills, Vicky downloads the mobile app that goes with the energy display. She quickly discovers that turning things off in her room doesn't appear to have any impact on the flat's energy use, and assumes that it isn't working. Investigating with the others, she finds that the rooms highlighted on the energy display are mislabelled. It wasn't Vicky's room that used all the energy, but Mike's. He had been increasingly working from home whilst writing up his PhD, and it was the high levels of daytime electricity use that had swallowed up their energy budget. Though Mike apologises, more arguments follow, and even with the heating turned back on, the atmosphere in the flat remains distinctly cold.